Hello. In this video, we're going to find the range of a transformed trig function. So our problem asks that we find the range of f of x, which is equal to 3 sine x minus 2. Now, if we had a graph, we could just look at the graph, find the minimum value and the maximum value of the function, and then the range would consist of all the numbers in between the minimum and the maximum, including the min and the max. However, in this video, we are going to find the range analytically. So what that means is that we're actually going to set up an inequality and then do algebra to deduce the range. So to do this, we start with a known fact about sine of x. Sine of x is a wave that goes back and forth between -1 and +1. So we can write down this fact as an inequality. So we have -1 is less than or equal to sine of x, which is less than or equal to 1. And this is true for all x in the domain, which happens to be the real numbers. So now that we have an inequality set up, what we want to do is create this function here using algebra. As long as we're careful not to break any of the rules of algebra, the inequality will remain true. So we want to start by making 3 sine x. And to do this, we want to multiply the entire inequality by 3. And when we do this, the 3 will distribute to all sides of the inequality. So we have 3 times -1 is -3. That's less than or equal to 3 times sine x, which is just 3 sine x. And that's less than or equal to 3 times 1, which is 3. So we have part of the function created. However, our function is 3 sine x minus 2. So in order to create the function, we now have to subtract 2 again from all sides of the inequality. So we do that, we subtract 2, we have -3 minus 2 is -5. In the center, we have 3 sine x minus 2, and that's less than or equal to +3 minus 2, which is 1. So we've done this, and now we notice that in the center, this here is the function f of x. So we can write f of x, and based on the inequality we've written down, we know that f of x is less than or equal to 1, and it's also greater than or equal to -5. So this actually gives us a bound on f of x, and this directly implies that the range of the function f is equal to the interval -5 to 1. So remember that the interval -5 to 1 is all of the numbers between -5 and 1. What this tells us is that this trig function oscillates back and forth between -5 and +1. So that is how we find the range of a transformed trig function analytically.